Hi everyone, welcome to the Does It Play monthly recap, where we take a look back at the disc and cartridge builds that we've added to our database over at doesitplay.org. We've had some excellent builds this month, as well as some not so great ones. So join us as we cover some of the highlights, so you can have a better idea which physical releases to buy for full ownership, preservation, or offline gaming, and which ones to avoid. Let's kick things off with the good stuff. November gave us a reprint of RoboCop Rogue City and its standalone expansion Unfinished Business in the form of a collection release. And these discs have updated builds on Series X. Now, we haven't been able to fully test the PS5 versions of the collection yet, but first impressions suggest similar results. For now, we're talking exclusively about the Series X version. And whilst the game still has some rough edges, the updated disc build makes this the best possible version of these games to own physically. And we're very happy it exists. Shoutouts to the developers Teon and the publisher Nacon for putting in the extra effort. And we're also very happy with the cartridge build for Pokemon Legends ZA. None of our testers reported any major issues with the build on the cartridge, and it's one of the few games in recent memory from Nintendo that didn't receive a day one update. It's a shame that Pokopedia may spell the end for physical Pokemon games, because this is an excellent release that will be playable for years and years to come. We certainly hope for a revised cart that will include the upcoming DLC as well though. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 on Series X, however, wasn't so fortunate. Whilst the game is still technically playable off the disc, we would highly advise against it. Near constant stutters, low frame rate, audio issues, crashes, and frequent glitches is not the way you want to play this game. For those brave enough to beat it like this, the credits are reachable in this build, but you might have to do some serious soul searching before you decide to take that route over just updating. Oh, and the change of mind to include all clans from the get-go came way too late as well. 2 of the 6 included clans have to be downloaded. It could still be worse though. The game could just stop you dead in your tracks and command you to download an update to proceed. Such is unfortunately the case for Stalker 2 Hearts of Chernobyl on PS5. The Xbox disc was already a coaster, but there was reason to hold out hope for the PS5 version on multiple discs. This one, however, only has the first area playable. And even that area is riddled with visual glitches and low frame rates. You're looking at PS5 Pro footage, by the way. If you care for proper physical releases, you can completely skip this release, which is just incredibly disappointing. But let's return to the good again for a second. Because Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment proves to be a fine addition to the actual physical game library on Switch 2. Aside from some minor shadow flickering, minor frame rate dips when an excessive amount of enemies are on screen, and an occasional brief flash when starting a mission, this is a very solid build. Even in the midst of the dreary game keycard situation, there's still some bright spots to be found on the Switch 2 for physical collectors. We can say the same for Konosuba, which was tested through backwards compatibility on Switch 2. We would like to specify that this game was provided to us by P-Cube as a review copy, but that wouldn't change the facts here. This is pretty much a flawless cartridge build with no issues encountered at all, and it's worth making note of it being playable on Switch 2 as well. Because while Super Mario Galaxy 1+2 plays great on Switch 1 of the cartridge with no major issues encountered during our test, it is blocked on the Switch 2. See, Nintendo has put some of their own physical cartridges on a blacklist. This includes games like 3D All-Stars, Animal Crossing, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 2 Zelda games, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Kirby Star Allies, and yes, Mario Galaxy 1+2. While some games are no doubt blocked because of the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of these games being a thing, we're unsure why games like 3D All-Stars and the Galaxy games are blocked. This would be a good time to mention that we have a Patreon. With your support, we can test more and more physical games and file them into our growing database. You'll get access to our Discord server, as well as early insights into our ongoing tests. So if you love physical games and want to support what we do, check out our Patreon page. There's a link in the description below. Moving over to the Lara Croft collection, which we tested through backwards compatibility on Switch 2. Our tester found that Temple of Osiris suffered from constant flickering, causing the screen to go fully black sometimes. Boss fights also appear to be broken on Switch 2. Our tester reported Guardian of Light to have broken animations, as well as suffering from frame skipping during cutscenes. We would like to note that we've also tested these games on Switch 1 in the past, where they fared much better. But again, it's not all doom and gloom on Switch, and our friends over at Super Rare Games prove that, with a very good cartridge build for the Akupara collection. In 2 of the included games, Whispering Willows and Relic Hunter Zero Remix, we couldn't find a single problem. We did, however, end up finding a potentially annoying glitch in Cardboard King's Card Shop Simulator. This particular glitch can force a reload, which can be annoying when certain timed events are going on. We ended up having to reload the game 8 separate times during our test, with one of the forced reloads being especially difficult to swallow as it happened during an event which only happens once a day. But the rest of the game is still playable, with a nice sizable post-game also included on the cartridge. We'd like to thank Super Rare Games for sending us this review copy. And let's bookend this recap with Terminator Resistance Complete Edition, which is from the same developers as RoboCop Rogue City. This was, once again, tested on the Series X, and only some minor issues were observed here by our tester. Like a destroyed support beam being misaligned, which made it possible to look through the collision, as well as some slight frame rate dips in the DLC, but hey, the DLC is here, and that's always a big win for a physical release. This is a very good and complete disc build that can be enjoyed for years to come. Because we get so many additional reports to our database every month, we won't have time to go over each and every single one. So for full reports on these games, as well as the ones we couldn't fit in this video, you can check out the full database for yourself over at doesitplay.org. And if you don't want to miss any tests, we want to point you to our Patreon one more time. All members of the Survival Mode tier receive a complete list of all newly added games each and every month. But that's all for this video. We hope we were able to give you a little more insight into the current state of physical games. Which of these games did you pick up this month? Or are you now planning to pick up? Let us know in the comments, and also let us know which physical games releasing in December you would like to see us cover. See you all next month. Bye bye everyone.